Hey guys, welcome to another Yowie Busters. I'm out on the hunt again. Did you hear that? No. It's like a deep thud. I'm out on the hunt again in the wilderness, and been reflecting on the last hunt that I did with a few comrades, a few fellow Yowie enthusiasts, and going back over the footage, and I've decided that I didn't see a Yowie. I'm sure my friend did, but I didn't. I almost did, just didn't turn around quite quickly enough, which is unfortunate. Anyway, it's very windy here for today. Oh, no way, look at this freshly broken tree that's been burnt out in the fires. What would do that? What could do that? We all know the answer to that, guys. And look, it's burnt this banksia as well. So big old banksia. Apparently they like to burn trees. Anyway, yeah, I didn't see a Yowie, unfortunately. But the quest continues. It was an exciting day. I thought I had seen a Yowie. I just had to sort of be a bit more realistic. I think my hopes in having a Yowie encounter kind of manipulated my perception of what was going on, and but that's definitely not the case for all the genuine sightings. And I guess the thing that distinguishes me as a Yowie researcher is that I am a Yowie buster, and when I see a Yowie, I'll yell out, "You're busted!" quite loudly. There's still none around, so that's my shtick. And I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, but when I do see a Yowie, that's what I'm going to say. And whether or not they understand the language, I couldn't tell you, but it's probably going to get some kind of inkling just from the body language, especially if I point, that it has been busted. And then it's kind of up to it what it wants to do about it after that, I suppose. Whether, you know, maybe it'll just rip me to shreds with its claws. So I'm out here today. It's a bit windy. Don't have any sort of anything to put on the microphone to make the sound quality any better, because I spend pretty much all of my time hunting Yowies, and a lot of people are going to kind of resonate with that. There's a lot of us, and it's a full-time job. I've seen a lot of evidence. Some people, like I've seen a few trees that have actually had all their bark and wood ripped off them, like quite high up. So, you know, people say Yowies get about 10 foot, 15 foot. Well, that's pretty much how high some of these were. And, you know, I've heard myths like skeptics, Yowie deniers, say things like, oh, that's cockatoos that can hear large grubs travelling up through the centre of the gum tree and sort of make a rendezvous with it by tearing away all the bark. Well, that's ridiculous, because cockatoos don't have claws, for starters, so they can't tear all the wood off the tree, and they're only about 30 centimeters tall. Like these things are like 3-4 meters up a trunk. So, you know, to say it's some kind of bird you know, that sits on a pirate shoulder or whatever is ridiculous. Other things I notice, like when I'm on the spurs, like where I am now, on some kind of spur. Actually, kind of looking for a trail, to be honest, but it's all good. When you're on spurs and on the sides of hills and things, come across these big circles of big bits of sandstone, you know, like boulders, sort of maybe the size of microwaves, and all sorts of sizes, lots of rocks, and they're all arranged in a big circle, and way too heavy. This is like out in the middle of nowhere, mind you. Way too big and heavy, and in nondescript locations for just campers to create. And they've even, some of them even have big pile of charcoal in the middle, and so the obvious answer as to why these things would be out in the bush, particularly on the tops of ridges, is yowies. You know, they're building these big fire pits over the years, and once again there's been a few national parks that predominantly Yowie skeptics, Yowie deniers. Someone from the park sort of told me once that that's actually just the remnants of where a large tree was, and the tree in the process of kind of growing has, you know, pried the rocks up out of the soil, the loose bits of sandstone and ironstone, and they've sort of gathered around its trunk and root systems, and then when that tree's died and burnt out in a bushfire, all that remains is like a big ring of boulders, and that's obviously not true. What's stronger, rock or wood? Case closed. You know, a tree's not going to do that. So once again, yowies, just got to see them. Like I said previously, there's a good chance that they're largely invisible. They might be sort of an apparition, like, I guess if a hominid or some kind of beast like a yowie has roamed the bush in the past, they might sort of transcend space and time, and or at least leave some kind of electrical signature behind, and it just sort of lingers in the ether, and certain individuals sort of have these moments where they lapse and can perceive that other plane. Oh, look at that tower of rock down there, it's pretty cool. How do you zoom in? No idea. Anyway, yeah, so that's you know, that might explain a lot of paranormal